Hello, hello, hello. I'm Chelsey.
And I'm Sammy, and this is
Deepish.
Hello, guys.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to Deepish.
Hi.
We'll be your host for the evening.
I'm definitely getting better, but I feel like I'm still...
Yeah, I still sound a little phlegmy.
Yeah.
But I kind of like it, honestly.
Hello.
I think people will be able to tell our voices apart now.
I know. On our editing software, I'll be like, fine, Sammy, fine, Chelsey. And it just thinks we're one.
Starts glitching out. Utah basic white bitch detected. Yeah, it's kind of sad. I love it, though. We're two peas in a pod.
Are you doing anything fun for Valentine's Day this weekend?
Hopefully. I need to figure it out. I think I said this last year, but Hayden's birthday is a few days after Valentine's Day and blah, blah, blah. So it all kind of meshes together. But you know what? Our first Valentine's together, I used to go so hard for Hayden as far as cooking goes. I made like prime filet and this fancy dinner, and we did, what's it called when you have like a chocolate pot?
Oh, fondue.
Yeah, I did fondue, and it was so cute. I had tons of roses everywhere, and I was like, wow, I love a Valentine's night in, like a fancy dinner in. So I think that's what we're going to do this year.
Yes, do that.
Even though it's a lot of work for me, cooking and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what I want to do. It's just a fancy night in.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe we should go out since it's our last without having to get a sitter.
No, stay in.
Okay.
Or do both. Do one day in and then the next day go.
I also want to get massages maybe.
Oh, that's
Hayden doesn't love massages though.
just force it. That's what I'm doing with Brandon. I'm
Yeah,
like,
what are
you
you guys
love
gonna
them. You love
They
them.
feel so nice because it's fun to go with them, but also it's expensive. So I'm like, should we just go together?
But it's just like a Rochelle's where you're both in the hot tub, get
yeah.
massages, and then afterwards you're just chilling. I want to have those memories with Brandon. So I'm just literally forcing him.
What are you guys going to do?
I want to do what we did last year. You gave me the chocolate fondue with the kids.
Oh, yeah. Like a fun Valentine's dinner with the kids where you go around and say what you love about each other.
And we did that last year, and I put it to the sound of you telling me about your mom used to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
So cute.
So we're going to do that again. And it was all candles, and then we did chocolate fondue.
Okay. The boys like it last year. Like, did they go around and say what they loved about each other? Are they receptive to that?
Yes. They loved the chocolate fondue. And I bought a fondue.
Oh, you did?
So we'll do that every year. That's like our new tradition. It was so fun. And I did the Valentine's hearts everywhere.
But do you do that on Valentine's Day or just like Valentine's weekend adjacent?
What did we do last year? I think we did it on Valentine's Day.
Cute.
I think we did it on Valentine's Day. We'll probably get a sitter and do something fun, but I do want to do that. I don't know when, but it was so fun last year. That's what I'm most looking forward to. Just kind of hard. What are we, 10 years in? We're like, okay, we love each other.
Definitely just do that with the kids. Enjoy the kid phase because that's what's so fun. The Valentine's boxes and just make it so fun for them.
Yeah. And so we
celebrate
got
the holiday.
Santa got them a 3D printer this year.
Oh, yeah.
And
Thanks, Santa.
Yeah, thank you,
Mom and
Santa.
Dad are poor.
We're so mad. Their cousins got a 3D printer too. And Lennox is like, Mom, TT has a lot of money. And I was like, why? And he was like, because they actually bought the 3D printer and Santa gave us ours. He was just like, they're rich.
Yeah. Santa made ours in his factory.
Yeah, I was like, yep. But I want to 3D print all their Valentine's Day cards because there's these ones that's a sheet and then you pop the things out. It's a little heart and then you put legs on it and it's like a little 3D.
Honestly, that 3D printer should be your new Cricut. You should just freaking use that thing for all you can.
And I'm going to do some cute thing for Brandon or something.
Do it.
Brandon, don't steal my idea.
I'm going so hard. Like a little homemade game or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I've been going so hard, which I don't even like it, but the boys every day are like, Mom, can we 3D print something? So I'm just every day a factory of one.
Factory of one. A freaking toy factory of one.
It's so bad. And everyone's like, what have you made for yourself? I'm like, literally nothing. I tried to make a meat. You know those
pounder thing? Yeah.
Not a pounder, but you know when it separates?
Yeah. The black thing that it has the twisty. Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't working. And I was like, this is the one thing I wanted.
Yeah. Do you not have one of those?
No. And then I went to Ross and bought one. And I
was going to say, I have two. I'll give you one. But
no, I already feel bad that I was like, I want the vases you have for my birthday. And then Sammy gave me literally her vase because she couldn't find it.
Okay, well, there's these very specific vases that are short and the perfect size and wide enough to just make your flowers look perfect.
They look like such a fancy arrangement. Every time I come into Sammy's house, her flowers, even if they're freaking Costco flowers, they look so cute.
Because they just fan out perfectly. But you're like, I can't find one. I need you to get me one for my birthday. And I was like, okay. But then I tried looking for one and I'm like, I really think these florists buy these wholesales because the only reason I've gotten them is because a bunch of people have sent me flowers in the last couple of years. And so I just saved the vases. And so I had two of them. So I gave you one. So if mine breaks,
I'll give it back.
or send me flowers or something.
I got you. But I haven't even put it away yet. It's just sitting on my counter waiting for flowers. I'm like TikTok branded. But other than that, not a lot of plans. Do you have any other updates? What are you watching right now? Are you watching anything good?
Oh, Love Island All Stars.
Okay.
Been watching that. We just love a Love Island in the winter, you know? Tell Me Lies has been so good this season. That's one that I savor every single week. I make sure I'm not on my phone. I watch it.
Steven, I am so terrified of him. He's either such a good actor or he's like that in real life because I can't separate the two. He was on Jimmy Fallon and I was like,
cute.
Yeah.
But here's the thing is my toxic self up until this season has always been like, okay, but you guys can forgive each other. Just be together. I just want him to change and I want Lucy to end up with him. For her, I'm like, I want you to be with him. But that's so toxic of me because I know how it is to be in one of those relationships. I'm like, let's just figure it out and be together. But this season, I'm like, literally, boy, bye. Get the fuck out of here.
When he filmed her.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's that type of stuff. I'm like, this is unforgivable. He is a piece of crap.
She's the worst though too. I hate Steven, but I hate Lucy too. I'm like, you're the worst.
I know.
Just call Brie and be like, Brie, I slept with Evan. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's hard because I feel like her stuff kind of comes from more good intention.
Yeah.
And she keeps getting herself into these messes and it's painful to watch. But I don't think she's genuinely evil. She really values her relationship with Brie and doesn't want to hurt her. That's coming from a good place. But Steven's just fucked up in the head.
He's literally a sociopath.
But there's just so many intertwining things. And then the Brie and what's his name?
Oh, Wrigley.
Yeah, Brie and Wrigley, whatever's going on with them. It just is crazy. But I love that show.
I love it, but I love him and Grace together.
Yeah, it makes it better that they're together in real life.
They're so hot.
Yeah.
And I love that they both talk. Yeah,
he's not hot.
No, he's so hot to me now.
Really? Mm-hmm. He's attractive in a way, but I don't think he's on paper hot. Like
no,
classic hot.
He's not, but he looks like a hot Buster from Arrested Development.
Oh my gosh. Lucy is pretty. But like her hair this season, I'm like, could we have gotten like a 16-inch extension versus a 22? It's just
too drowning.
Yeah.
But Pippa looks 45 years old. I'm like, girl, no one's buying you in college. Yeah. I love that they just talk so much crap on their characters. Grace is always like, Lucy's the worst. Get it together, girl. You make bad decisions. And she's always like, Steven is a psycho.
Oh, side note, I have an update from a couple weeks ago.
Tell me.
When we talked about controller and changer and clicker, I did a poll on Instagram of what people liked. And Brandon messaged us.
Oh, Brandon, my husband.
He messaged me and said controller because it's the same in Spanish. And I was like, oh, I love that. If you would have just led with that reason, then I wouldn't have made fun of you. But I was like,
rude.
That's the cutest thing
I've
I've ever
don't
heard.
like my heritage.
No, but like you didn't even know that. You're
racist.
I just always
piece
said
of crap.
controller. And then Brandon's like, no, we say controller because it's the same in Spanish. And that's adorable. So I apologize. Controller's fine.
Okay, but what did the poll say?
Oh, like it was 100% remote, and then a couple randoms were like, I call it channel changer. And I'm just like, okay.
Everyone says remote. I don't think I've ever called it a remote in my life.
Controller had one vote, and it was Brandon.
I think I called it changer when I was little.
No, for sure. As a child, you were probably like changer, clicker. It definitely was not remote. But mass majority was remote. But I just have to let the listeners know that it's a very good reason that you guys call it controller.
Yeah.
It's very cute. Anyways, what shows are you watching? Oh, also His and Hers.
So good.
On Netflix. That was so good, but
kind of dark.
So dark. Yeah, especially towards the end. I was like, "Ooh, this is dark."
It made me kind of miss All Her Fault.
Yeah, it was just a good binge. A mystery binge where we had to stay up and see what happened.
But I think my takeaway from this last year was All Her Fault.
It was so good.
I still can't stop thinking about it.
Also, Traitors. You haven't started it yet.
No, and I feel so disappointed in myself.
Also, I'm not even kidding you, probably 4 or 5 people talked to me about our pop culture episode, and they're like, Chelsey for real needs to watch Real Housewives because I need you guys to talk about it. Like, I need you guys to talk about Bravo a little bit more in pop culture because there's so much going on in it. And I was like, yes, we will get on that.
I know I need to. And it was so hard. We were all at dinner the other night with my family and everyone's watching Traitors and the Bravo universe. My sister-in-laws love Traitors and they were talking about it. And I was like, FOMO. It's just so hard.
No, it's not. It's really not that hard. Why is it so hard?
Because Brandon doesn't want to watch it. And then
Throw
it's
it
like,
on the iPad while you're home with the kids, though.
okay, that's what I need to do.
Only a handful of episodes are out. Brandon, if you're listening, watch freaking Traders. It's like Mafia. You'll like it, even if you don't like reality TV.
I know. I want to get into it. Do you know Mr. Beast? Mm-hmm. So he came out with a game show or whatever, and I watch it with the boys. Mm-hmm. And like, I love this era for us.
Really?
I don't even really
That's
like
fine.
the show, but they're obsessed with Mr. Beast right now. They love him. They don't even know he has a YouTube channel. They don't know him from YouTube, but he has the Mr. Beast bars, and then he has toys, these Beast Lab toys. So they know him because of that.
Okay.
And all the kids right now love Mr. Beast. So we started watching the show, and I'm entering in a new era.
Older boys, fun.
So Lennox is so cute. We love this guy named Jeff. Mm-hmm. And so we're like, Jeff cannot get off. Jeff. And then they'll play a game. And Lennox is like closing his eyes. He's like, no, Jeff. And he's like, I can't watch them all. And then he wins. And he's like, oh my gosh, Mom, I'm so happy.
That's so cute.
So cute. And I'm just like, this is our Bachelor. We're watching The Bachelor right now. And it's so fun. So I'm excited for that. I think they'll love Survivor and the genre.
Totally. And you could literally watch The Traders with them. It might go a little bit over their head, but I watch it with my nieces and they love it. Because you can kind of tell, like, oh my gosh, who are they going to murder?
I just love Rob so much and I miss him. And I'm just like, why am I not watching this right now? I need to dive in.
The drama is good. It's good. Just watch it.
Okay. The main guy is Floop.
Floop?
From Spy Kids.
Oh, and he's also in Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah.
The guy at the end who releases his belly and he's ugly. What's his name? I forgot, but that's the guy.
Oh my god.
He's like, I've been holding this in for 20 years.
That movie is so
so unhinged, but it's so good.
I need to watch that. I think the last time I watched that was literally at your house.
Probably. I was like, let's do a throwback. I used to love a throwback night. Oh, also I did see someone was like, oh, if you're turning 32, you should do a 16th birth, because 16 plus 16 is 32. And so they're like, this is your sign to do another sweet 16 like nostalgic birthday party. And I was like, that is so fun. I wish I would have done that.
Yeah, 32 now, bae.
So now I'll have to just wait till I'm whatever, 16
66.
times 4. 65 divided by 4 or 62, whatever. So let's sweet 16.
I love
Also, what are you thinking about Hillary Duff's new music?
I don't like it, but I love her.
It's sad. But her tour, did you see that footage? I would die.
Literally, like, take my left arm and I will be there.
It looked so fun.
Oh, anyways, that's pretty much it. I'm not really watching anything else.
I'm excited for next month for Secret Lives and Bachelor. March is going to be good.
I'm so excited. Oh, yeah. Secret Lives first and then...
Yeah, did you see that new trailer?
Yes.
I think it's coming out like March 7th or something. And then Bachelor will be like March 20 something. But... it's gonna be good.
So good.
Okay, guys, this episode is sponsored by Tidy Co Cleaning.
I love Tidy Co Cleaning. I cannot even tell you, after they came to my house and I walked through my doors, all I felt was relief, and I didn't realize how much I needed that.
It really does. You have to delegate as much as you possibly can, and I feel like deep cleaning your house is one of those. If you can get somebody else to do it for you and you can come home and enjoy it and be with your family and not be an anxious ball of stress.
That's what I'm feeling all the time. I felt that bottling up for weeks. And then after they came, it was like this release of just like, oh,
yeah,
it's clean. This really made a difference for me in my mental health. And the best thing about Tidy Co is they have 3 different things. Their basic clean, which in other cleaning companies, their basic clean is garbage. It's like, okay, we'll sweep the floors and mop and that's it. Even their basic is so in depth.
Yeah.
And then it goes even farther, and then the deep, deep clean, like down to the walls and the windows and everything. Mm-hmm. But that's what I love. And the owner, she's so cute. I loved talking to her because she was like, "Kate, what are your needs? What are your pain points in your house? What are you looking to get clean, and how can I help?" It was a different experience.
I actually love that too, because I feel like it customized the experience. Because for me, I don't have kids, but I have a dog. And you have kids, so it's very different of what we actually need cleaned.
I loved that customization. They were so professional, so good. And you know what, guys? If you use code DEEPISH, you get $50 off your first clean.
$50.
$50 off. That is crazy to me.
No, but I really feel like we are also giving you a gift by recommending these guys to you, because I have gone through 5 different cleaning companies and I'm like, how could they miss this spot? How could they miss this spot? This is a whole new level. It really is an entirely different experience when it's customized for your specific home.
So guys, if you need this for yourself or a gift, use code DEEPISH.
You can go to their website, tidycoclean.com, or you can follow them on Instagram, tidyco.clean.
We love Tidy Co. And thank you, Tidy Co, for sponsoring this episode. Okay, let's get into today's topic.
Let's do it. So I actually have a question for you, because today's topic is being in a people pleaser rebellion and acknowledging or recognizing when you're in one. But when I was thinking about this topic, I don't know if you're a people pleaser or if you would classify yourself as one. Do you think you're a people pleaser?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes.
Do you think you're a chronic people pleaser, or do you have people pleaser tendencies?
People pleaser tendencies for sure. I think.
In what areas?
And
would
recovering people pleaser tendencies. I just feel like in high school, massively, I was known as a flake because I could not say no.
Yeah.
I could not say no to anyone.
But I also feel like that was part of you wanting all the faucets running at the same time. You turn them all on and be like, sorry, I don't know what one to do. So they're all running. You know what I mean? Where you like to be invited, or everyone wanted you there or whatever. Or you wanted options, and then it was like, okay, now which one do I choose now? I'm scared.
I'm sure that is a huge reason behind being a people pleaser, is wanting to be included and wanting to be a part and all that stuff. And I think that's why I was like, yes, always a yes. Or just like, maybe, yeah, for sure, probably. I couldn't just say no. Mm-hmm. I think I mentioned this before, but one of my best friends, Amy, this was after high school. She's like, Chelsey, it would be so much better if you just said, no, I can't come. It would suck a little bit in the moment, but you saying yes and not coming is 10 times worse.
Yeah, that's so true.
And that was the biggest shift for me, where now I never, probably to a fault, I never commit to anything. I'm like, I don't know, I'll check my schedule, or I don't think I can make that work. Mm-hmm. That is my 2 go-tos. I never am like, that probably will work. I'm just like, I don't know right now, but I will get back to you. So I'm definitely probably not a people pleaser, but sometimes I do feel like, especially in Brandon's family, I think we're the ones to bend a lot, especially around the holidays or whatever. I think some people are better at being like, no, we can't. And I try to, and it's met with a lot of resistance.
So you submit a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where I'm like, okay, I guess. But I try to be like, no.
Mm-hmm. So from high school to when you felt like the most people pleasing, do you feel like you ever hit a rebellion with that, or you were so burnt out from it that it kind of ricocheted and made you change?
Yeah, especially in my side of my family, my Moen family, I have a huge obliger rebellion because I was always showing up for people or doing things or whatever, and then there was one day where I was just like, I cannot anymore, and you like snap.
Where it's not being met for so long, where you do snap. Could you feel that creeping up, or do you feel like it was instant?
I think you get to that point of burnout, and then there's no going back. You snap, and something switches off inside of you.
Where it turns to anger, and you're like, why am I doing this?
And you're just like, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I just cannot with any of you. That's kind of where I'm at. And now I'm trying to just like mend it into a place where it's more being intentional, or giving people parts of myself that are genuine and true, but not too much.
Where it doesn't take too much from your cup in a healthy boundary way.
What would you say for me? Would you be like, oh, she's not a people pleaser?
I don't know. It's hard because, when I look at your family dynamics and the things with your friends and stuff, I can totally see people pleaser tendencies in you, but your personality, you're very opinionated. You're not afraid to be like, let's go eat here. At least in our relationship, more the driver, where I'm a chronic, at times unhealthy people pleaser. And so our dynamic in our friendship, I don't see you as a people pleaser. But definitely when I hear you talking about other relationships, I'm like, totally could see you being a people pleaser.
Yeah. And I would say for you, you're a definitely recovering people pleaser.
I've been a hardcore people pleaser, and then I hit my obliger rebellion a couple years ago. And I think it was maybe a little bit different. I don't know. I think life events happen where it changed my perspective on things. And that's kind of what drove me into an obliger rebellion. And then I still am tapering down that rebellion, even to this day, with a lot of different people. But I think even in therapy and stuff, I was a chronic people pleaser my whole life. And I think a lot of it stemmed from me feeling like I have to be an amazing friend and do all of these crazy things for people. That's how I get love, is over performing and over showing up for people. And then when it's not received back, that would be really hard on me. And so I think it's good that I'm stepping away from it, but I'm still trying to find.
But do you think people that, it's so hard, because I had this thought when I was thinking about people pleasers and all this stuff. You in particular, I think you built this foundation with a lot of people where you have so many friends, and people have this really strong picture of who you are as a friend because of you being a people pleaser or whatever. It's like you will always overarchingly be a really good friend.
Yeah.
But I think that stemmed from a lot of unhealthiness on your end, where it was taking too much and it was not a healthy balance. But now you have this really strong foundation where even now that you're like, I'm recovering, I'm not going to do as much, people still are around, which is probably very satisfying to you and healing, where it's like, okay, I don't need to do all this stuff and people will still stay. But I'm wondering if you're just innately not a people pleaser, do you attract others? It's hard, like new friends, where it's like if someone were to be like, oh, let's go here. And you're like, no, I don't like that. It almost feels, are you unlikable, or are you going to attract people?
I think there's a different version of yourself that you'd be around new people, right? Where, like, I don't think if you went out with your new mom friends, you wouldn't be like, no, I don't like that. Whereas you're like, hey, let's go here. That sounds good to me. It's not even a thought in your brain. But for me, I'm like, oh, that doesn't really sound good. Like, she wants to go there and I want her to have a good night. Okay, let's go there, whatever. I don't think I'm like that as much anymore. I could totally tell you, like, I don't want freaking tsunami tonight, whatever. But there's certain personalities that we know where it's like, okay, you're scary and so opinionated in this group setting that is so unnecessary. We get it. You're strong and you have opinions, but be sweet and be nice and be flexible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. Like,
or it's like, it's this friend's birthday. Like, let her go to freaking whatever if she wants to.
Yeah,
even if it doesn't sound good to you, to take one for the team.
I'm curious if there was a study or something where people pleasers, do they have a higher like EQ than people that are not? Like inherently people pleasers, because I think people pleasers have a really big heart and they are very empathetic and they do see others in a way that I think about people in my life that I know that have never been people pleasers, and I'm like, you're very off-putting at times, where like you just said, where they're more scary, where it's just like they're like no, and they do not bend, and you're almost giving socially awkward. You're not reading the room. You're making everyone uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But is that more healthy? I don't know. But I think those people I definitely don't gravitate towards.
Yeah, maybe in certain situations it's more healthy standing up for yourself or whatever. But I don't think in that type of situation, no. And I don't think a lot of people gravitate towards them. I don't think those type of people have a lot of friends. There's a lot of my friends who I wouldn't define as people pleasers. I'm like, they're confident and they have opinions and they have thoughts and they don't have this insecurity to show up for me and be loved by me. They just know that their presence and friendship is enough, which I admire and I love. But that doesn't mean that those friends in my life aren't so sweet and so gravitating and contagious and their personalities are amazing. I don't think that you have to be a people pleaser to be that. But I do think that those scary people probably fit well with people pleasers for so long, and then people pleasers are like, okay, well, you're draining my energy and you're a toxic negative thing in my life, so then they don't stay friends for long.
Yeah, and right? It's the obliger rebellion for sure.
Yeah,
because the people pleaser love to fix and love to go in and just be like, yes, I will love you and make you so cozy and so comfy, and then you're not getting anything and then you just snap.
I think it's hard because there is an overperformance aspect to people pleasing. That's something I'm learning in therapy, even with my marriage and my friendships. Usually when you're in a relationship with one other person, there's an overperformer and underperformer, and that can kind of shift. And I think a lot of areas in my life, especially with my family, it's hard because for me, the point I'm hitting right now is I want my friendships to look a certain way. I want my family relationships will go a certain way. I want my marriage to look a certain way. And I am willing to put in all of this effort. Hi, I'm here. Let's make this relationship amazing. Let's do all these things. Let's go on these trips. Let's do so much for each other's birthdays. Let's like do all this stuff. And then when that's not met, I'm like, what do I do? Because then I end up feeling angry that I'm doing it and they're not. But the anger is coming from fight with me for this relationship to be good. Let's put like a marriage in it. If you're like, no, let's go hard for our anniversary. Let's both put in a lot of effort because we could have this like amazing relationship, or for each other's birthdays or for our kids, whatever. And your partner's not doing the same thing. Then you hit the obliger rebellion and you have resentment. Your husband's not doing enough. You're doing more. You're overperforming. He's underperforming. But then it's just like, okay, so our relationship's going to suck. What do we do? How do we fight for it?
That scenario, I fall into this too, where it's like you love people the way you want to be loved, and you're doing things for people the way that you would want others to show up for you.
Yeah.
I have this with Brandon a lot. If I do certain things, that does not like make him feel extra loved, but that would make me feel extra loved. Where it's like he loves a different way and he appreciates a different way and thinks a different way. And so it's really just trying to understand whoever you're in a relationship with, whether that's a friendship, a family relationship, a spouse, how the other person feels and receives love and what they need, and then trying to meet each other's needs. And so if you're like, oh, I'm going to go so hard for your birthday and do all of these things, and it's kind of like, I'm showing you how I would love to be loved, and they're not doing that back. Versus, for instance, like Brandon, he isn't going to love this huge birthday dinner and all of these things, but he would love a chill day at home, which is, I don't want that, but he does, you know? And then I meet it with, hey, these are my expectations. I would love to go out. I'd love to do this, and expressing what I need. And then if that's not met, then there's a room for the resentment, or I'm genuinely disappointed because I expressed what I needed from you.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing what you need and I'm asking and it's different and I'm giving that to you, versus I'm giving you everything that I want and you're not giving anything that back.
And I think maybe that's what I struggle with, especially in friendships, is I'm like, hey, like I'm showing you the kind of friend that I want. I'm holding up the mirror for you where I'm like, hey, think of me in these moments, or show up for me, or whatever. And I think as you've grown, it's something we've talked about where I do have different friendships for different reasons. And all my friends bring different things to the table, which isn't so nice because I get really deep with you. And your expectations for different friends are, because I'm like, I have a way deeper connection with you, which is amazing, but then it's hard because it's unfair where I have different expectations for you in big moments of my life than I do for a random friend that I could go to dinner with every couple months, you know, which is good and bad. But I think that's just a hard place to come to when I was thinking about this people pleaser stuff. I'm doing a little bit better. I feel like I'm definitely in a rebellion right now with my family, where I feel like if I don't do and plan everything, we won't get together and things won't happen. It was just my mom's birthday, and I'm like texting them like, hey, like let's get together for mom's birthday, and they're just like, yeah, sounds good. And I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do? Like, when can you guys get together? Okay, I'll make a cake, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this, because if I don't do it, then we're not gonna get together and celebrate.
Like what I'm hearing right there, and probably most people pleasers, you're always an overperformer in these areas. And so of course, the people that aren't overperformers, they love that because they don't have to do anything because you're doing it all.
They're just like, tell me where to be and when to be.
But I think it's hard because for you, I would recommend don't say anything. But then you're like,
and that's what my therapist said. She's like, you need to take a step back in all these areas and see what happens. Let them get the chance to rise to the occasion.
But it needs to be in a healthy way where you're not building resentment, because I can see it playing into like, see?
Yeah.
We're not doing anything and I could have done it. And like now I'm alone on my mom's birthday when I wanted to be together.
See, but that's the thing, is there's option A or option B. Option A, you put it together, you do it. And we had an amazing time. It was so fun. We played games. I'm so happy we did it. It made it such a great day. But then if I wouldn't have done anything, that's sad. And then what? We just don't ever get together?
So it either needs to be one, you do it happily, or not even do it happily, but express to your family, hey guys, I would love to be together, but this is a lot for me to always take these things on. I would love some of you to step up. Do you think you could do that?
Yeah. And I did have that kind of a little bit on Christmas. We had this big fancy Christmas dinner. Me and Hayden spent all day preparing. getting ready, making most of the food, doing all the things. And everyone just left. No one helped clean up. It was shocking. I was like, you guys don't realize like how much I do. But I had an amazing day and I want my family to all be together and I want to plan fun things because that's what's hard is because then like the things that I do enjoy, now I want to plan a Valentine's Day dinner. Like mom always used to do this. Like I love doing a cousin movie night. And then I feel like if I start talking about, they're like, well, you just plan these things and it seems like you like it, so we just do it. But those fun things should feel like alternative, optional things for me to do that are fun for me, and don't take the fun out of it for me by being jerks when you come over and don't help clean up.
But realizing that they might genuinely not be thinking of that, which is like baffling to you because you're like, I did all of these things, but they're like, yeah, I'm just over here having fun and leave. I think getting more comfortable, I would assume people pleasers have a harder time expressing their needs and expectations because it's very uncomfortable and hard to do those things.
And you feel like it's going to kind of ruin it for the future, which you're scared about. That's going to be a lack of connection and it's going to make you guys not as close or whatever. I think I'm more down to be like, yo, you guys all freaking left this huge mess for me. Like next time, can you please help clean up? Whatever, like that type of thing.
But I think those times come out of a place of your rebellion versus a proactive, hey, expressing needs versus like, there's a huge mess and like I'm annoyed.
It
versus
pins you
like,
up against a wall where you're like, I'm hitting this wall of rebellion, and it's sad because you get to that point where you're like, oh my gosh. But I would love for someone, and maybe do you think that's something I should communicate? Because I'm like, I would love for you guys to come up with an idea for mom and think of a way you want to remember her and invite me to do that with you.
Yeah. And I think in that scenario, not necessarily I would love this, but asking more questions. Hey, do you like these things? Do you like getting together? Do you like honoring mom? Is this fun for you? And if they're like, yeah, I love it. And it's amazing. And then you could be like, it is a lot of pressure on me to plan all of these things. I'm hearing that you do love it. Do you think maybe you could take something on?
These conversations in real life are just, that makes me want to die. Talking to my brother. I'm hearing that you enjoyed tonight. Would you be willing to take on the next task so that we could be together as a family?
I know, but it's hard because it's so uncomfy.
But I also think it's the root of it. I'm like, why don't you guys, I have a hard time with this too. Them with their kids, I insert myself a lot. I'm like, is it important for you that I'm there? Do I add anything? Do I matter? Because you guys matter a whole lot to me. And I want to be with you guys and I want to do these things with you. But when you're never initiating and inviting me, and maybe they just hate me.
No, they definitely don't.
But you know what I mean?
And the thing is, the reality, I'm guessing, is they're like, when she wants to come and she wants to be with us, she inserts herself in it. And we love it. But it's like this overperforming aspect of like, she'll do it if she wants to, and she always does, you know?
Yeah, but when you're never being invited to stuff, then it's like, I'm not important there. Or if they're not ever planning stuff like, hey, I miss you guys, let's all get together as a family. I'm like, do you even like getting together as a family? Anyways, this is turning into a therapy session, but I just think that it's a complex layer of people pleasing, because it's not even that I'm like, oh, I want my siblings to like me, but it's like, I genuinely want to get together, but it just sucks that if I want to get together, I have to make it happen and put in a lot of effort and a lot of work.
And I think it's either one, you have to live with that effort and be accepting of that, of I want to do this, so I'm happy to do it, and I know that the dishes aren't going to get cleaned, and I know no one's going to text. I'm doing it because I want to, and I'm going to let go of any resentment. Or express and communicate how you feel and see if things can shift and change. I think there's those two things. The third thing is now you're in that rebellion where you get to this point where there's no communication, there's no building the relationship, there's no next step. It's like, cut, bye. I'm never doing this ever again. And I'm so burnt out. And
I don't want to be that person though. That's so like, that doesn't feel like an option to me. That feels very sad. Because I'm just like, okay, see you guys at Christmas.
But sometimes it's not a conscious choice. It's like your will and desire to be with family or certain friends. It cuts off. That's the rebellion inside, where it's like there's no desire anymore.
That's interesting. I feel like I did hit that. Maybe with some of my friends, I toned back a lot with a lot of the things I used to do.
Because it's like you don't have that desire.
Died. Yeah.
So when you're like, that's not an option, it's not this choice. There really is just this lack of desire, which is hard because I think you look back on it and it's like, oh, but I would have loved those dynamics to be different, or those group parties, or I would love this to be planned different. You kind of look back on those times with sadness of what could have been. But again, the desire's not there anymore.
Yeah.
And so right now, that's not the case with your family. You have a desire, a deep, deep, deep desire, but there's a lot of resentment building, and it could switch into like no desire.
Yeah.
And so to fix that, maybe having some harder conversations, expressing your needs, being curious about how they like to be with a family or what they're wanting, and delegating that a little more.
Yeah. This is good because I feel like I can ask you advice for our listeners because you're good at this and you've been better at setting boundaries. If somebody feels like they're on the verge of an oblige or rebellion where they're like, okay, I think I'm getting really burnt out with people pleasing in work, in friendships, in family dynamics, where do you feel like you can start setting boundaries, especially when you feel this tie to your worth or this tie to how much people love you if you do these things?
I think that's the key right there. The tie to my worth and who I am. I think the first step is looking inwards. What am I missing that I'm searching so hard outside of myself for? I'm searching so hard for love and connection and validation, or whatever connection. And one, I think being soft with yourself and being like, that's so human. That makes sense why I would feel that way.
Yeah.
And showing up with compassion and looking in would be my first suggestion. Trying to understand what are my needs. Because even a lot of this with your family, I think it roots from, I'm missing my mom and she was this. I'm sad and I'm grieving, and I'm trying to be that glue, and really understanding that aspect. Because I think the more you can understand your why, or what you're lacking, or what you're needing, or what you're feeling, it's a lot easier to then express that to others.
That's so true of what it is. I'm trying to be the glue, or I'm trying to fill my mom's shoes and be what she is. And I think that's been very comfortable for my siblings to just kind of let me step into those shoes, which I'm so proud to wear those shoes. And it gives me a lot of happiness being that person. But I think when it comes to a group effort, I'm like, guys, let's do this together. Sometimes I'm just grieving and I want to just show up and feel like I have a mom or have someone who's holding the family together without me. That's opening up and getting deep about it would be more powerful than being like, I'm just like so tired and I can't do everything. Because I don't think it's that. I'm willing to put in a ton of effort. And like, that's a big revelation for me because I want to throw the party. I want to have all the kids over. I want to do all these things, but I want it to feel important to you guys, as important as it feels to me.
And honestly, meeting that head on where it might not be as important to them. And what does that look like for you?
See, that sucks. And that sucks in a marriage. That sucks in a relationship. That sucks in a friendship where I'm like, oh, this might not be that important to a friend, but it's so important to me. Why wouldn't it be so important to them? And I'm sure they feel the same way on other sides.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's being curious, well, what is important to you? Like, how do you feel connected as a family? How do you feel like you honor mom that makes your cup feel full and that you're remembering her? Being curious about that. And is there a way that we can facilitate connection with how you feel love for mom or love as a family? Yeah. And that might look different than a family game night or a potluck or a whatever. That might be a random text chain, or let's send pictures to each other, or it could be something totally different where you're like, cool, I don't care to see these pictures, but maybe that's what brings them a lot of joy, is getting a weekly update or something.
But I think my family situation, very isolated, but having this issue for other people, I think first getting to the root of maybe why you're overperforming. Why do I feel like I need to overperform? What am I trying to get out of this? Is it love? Is it their opinion of me? Is it me trying to reframe or overperform to change their opinion on me? Or whatever it is that you're trying to do. And then I also think from there, finding a place, where do I want this relationship to sit? Because maybe you do want it really close, but if I do want it really close, how can I communicate to them to split this up 50-50 so I'm not carrying this whole load, and then we can have this relationship be what we want to be? It was funny, I talked to my therapist about, this is so silly, but Halloween, and I told Hayden this so he knows, but it's really not that deep. But Halloween, I don't know, just holidays are hard. I get emotional, especially at the time I was going through infertility. My mom's gone. My family's small. Just kid holidays suck because I'm just like, I don't have kids. What do we even do on this day? Whatever. So my family was coming over to make soup and go trick-or-treating. And Hayden was like, oh, by the way, I'm going to go watch the World Series tonight with some friends. And I'm like, it's Halloween. He's like, we don't ever do anything on Halloween. And I'm like, yeah, because we can't, because we don't have kids. And we got into this fight. And so then I talked to my therapist about it. And she's like, you guys should sit down before holidays and go over your expectations of what's going to make Christmas really fun for you. What's your ideal Thanksgiving? Is it chilling on the couch? She's like, when you guys have kids and stuff, you guys are going to need to make compromises of, okay, I want to be with family, but what a good holiday for me is watching football. So in the morning, I'm going to watch football, and then we can go be with family. And then what's really important to me is that we watch a movie together at the end of the night. And so we both put in our 2 cents of what we think a good holiday is. And I think that translating that to a relationship is really good because, like you said, understanding what they want out of it. For me, I'm like, oh yeah, the perfect marriage would be if we both did this, and we're always this, and we're always so close, and we get deep about this, and we go so hard for our birthdays, whatever it might be. But the ideal marriage for Hayden would be different. So we have to find that compromise where he's like, ideally for me, we just hang out at home and chill. And then I'm like, okay, I can do that if that means that much to you. Learning those things, being curious, discovering. So maybe that's a good step too. But I think it's really hard. What about getting past that uncomfortable when you do start setting boundaries? What's been your experience with even the responding of like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I really can't make it. I really wanted to come. I miss you. Like letting your friends down and being okay with that, or family or whoever, without overcompensating for you just setting a boundary of like, sorry, I can't make it tonight.
I think boundaries look different for everyone and look different in every relationship. In my life, there's some people I have to set boundaries with that are very harsh and very one-sided on me, where I'm like, I'm setting this boundary. There's no compromise. There's no conversation, like the end, because it's gotten to that extreme point.
And I get some relationships are like that, right? Because of their behavior, it gets to that extreme point. But when you do need to set a hard boundary with someone that you care about, that maybe the lines have gotten blurred, but it's like boundary. How do you not feel guilty or not feel bad or not feel like you need to overcompensate for saying no?
I think it's okay to feel bad and feel sad and feel a loss or this is uncomfortable. I think that it's okay to feel all of those feelings. I don't think you should push any of those feelings away. Should feel whatever. Because boundaries are uncomfortable and it is awkward and it is whatever. But I think if you're wanting the relationship to continue and build a new relationship, it's sitting with a lot of those uncomfortable feelings, but still pushing through to the other side. Where it's like, this is my boundary, but I love you so much. And I do want to continue this relationship. Can we find a way through this with this boundary?
And it might feel uncomfortable at first, but that's just because it's new. It's not that you're just doing something bad, but then you eventually get comfortable with that. And the confidence comes of like, oh, wow, I didn't go tonight, but they do still love me and our friendship is still okay. Oh, wow, I didn't have to go above and beyond for their birthday. I took them to a simple dinner and that seemed to be enough. Testing out those waters and then getting that evidence and confidence that, well, we're still good and they still love me.
Yeah, versus like inside dying because like you're just giving and overperforming and doing and doing and doing, and to the point where it's like, I can't do it anymore. Might feel like once you realize that those boundaries are in place to keep you safe and keep the relationship in a healthy state, probably takes time to see the evidence and the plants grow from that seed. It's hard. I think what I'm learning is I love a codependent relationship. Like that's so cozy to me. I love someone being obsessed with me. I love being obsessed with someone else and us just being like so meshed. But I'm realizing that that's probably not the most healthy for me or anyone else. But it feels like a loss. I'm like, I don't know where to land. I don't know where my safe place is because I'm missing this person to show me that I'm loved. But then it's like, I need to give that to myself. I need to be that person for myself because then I can have healthier relationships and I'm not going to be let down when X does something. Can truly come out of a place of a healthy foundation. But I know I have to unlearn a lot of things that feel very comfortable to me. And that's probably a lot with people pleasing.
Yeah. I think also too, we keep talking about the people pleaser, but the person that you're in a relationship with, you have to remember they have their whole set of things on the other side too. That might be different behaviors, but ways that they feel loved or ways that they show up. Everyone has their own stuff. And I think it's hard because how that might be received might be different and like a reflection on what they have going on their end. And so as a people pleaser, you're like, me, I'm the problem. You're so looking in towards yourself where you also could focus on the other person. Instead of trying to change how they feel about you, it could matter more about how they feel in general, how they're doing in general, like what they actually need.
Yeah, because a people pleaser on the outside looks so giving, so generous, so amazing. But it really is a place of
it's coming
selfish.
It's coming from a place of lack.
Yeah.
That you're seeking in something else.
Yeah, that's a better way to distinguish is this lack. But that lack is very self-centered. And I'm doing this because I want this and I want people around me and I want to be the host and I want validation and I want love.
Yeah.
And so even though you're looking like you're giving everything, it's really to receive what you're missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Versus coming from a place of I'm whole and good and I want to be with you. And like, what do you need? And let's like come together in that. But it's hard because I think even the communication element can be tricky because I think me and Brandon, I'm very like, blah, 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 this is what I need. And this is like, let's chat and let's like really communicate all of this. And that's low-key his worst nightmare. He hates a deep talk about our feelings.
Where you go round in circles. And that just feels so good to us. Yeah.
And for him, it's more so him just being like, can I just be? I don't want to have all of these deep philosophical conversations about this.
Yeah.
But I know you need that. So maybe can we have a little bit of that, but then can we just let the other stuff go and let it play out and know we're good?
Yeah.
And that's hard for me because I'm like, I want every end to be tied up, but that's a form of him communicating to me. I don't want to beat this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have to relinquish the impulse to communicate.
Yeah.
And let the love and the foundation just be there. And that's showing him that I'm listening to him and his needs.
Yes.
And it does feel good because sometimes you can kind of talk yourself into this corner versus if you just let it breathe, it's like, oh, everything is fine and we do love each other and we are good.
No, and I think most wives have probably experienced that where you do take the husbands out. Let's just laugh it off or let's just go to bed and not have this fight. And then you're like, whoa, that was so much better than spiraling for 2 hours.
Exactly. And I think some conversations obviously need to be had.
Yeah.
And boundaries need to be established and things like that. But also picking and choosing your inner circle. Yeah. What am I willing to work on, communicate, have these conversations? What do my boundaries need to look like in the people I want closest to me and that mean the most? And then that outer circle, I don't need to express these boundaries and I don't need to like have conversations and I can just put them in place.
Exactly. And your expectations are a little bit different where it's no problem if you bail or if it's no problem if you forgot my birthday or whatever. I feel like me and you have been through our own journey with my obliger rebellion and our relationship dynamics that we've talked about. And I think, I mean, at least I hope, I feel like we're in a good place now. We're coming on the other side. And I really love you for giving me grace and patience while I figured that out. Because I think once you go through the obliger, especially I relate mine and yours relationship similar to mine and my mom's, mine and my sister's, where it feels so close, where I can feel comfortable to, this sounds bad, but be my worst self. Or in a way, there's that like comfort.
Safety of I can show you how I'm really feeling and you're not going to run away because you love me and it's unconditional.
And that took time to build. But yeah, there definitely is that safety for me to kind of experiment or truly feel my true feelings. Obviously, it was rocky and bumpy. And now looking back, I was able to have that rebellion and then come back around to where do I feel comfortable? What's the healthiest for me to be in our friendship? What's the healthiest way for me to show up as a friend, to still listen to you on what you need and try and still make you feel loved in ways that maybe are different than I used to do and that you're not used to? What do you feel like looking back, maybe advice for someone who's going to go through that transition of ways maybe I could have done it better, of maybe communicating it more, or someone who's been on the other side of this people pleaser rebellion. What tips would you have for someone who is going through that rebellion, someone who's receiving it from the other side?
I think what I'm advising is maybe how with your family right now, I'm seeing some of those similar, like, I'm getting burnt out by certain things. And so I'm now saying you need to have those conversations. You need to look inward. I think that's what I would say to someone that's starting to feel that strain on a relationship or this is too much. It's all of those things. Because I think now our specific relationship, you and I's, we're still navigating through feelings and dynamics and a lifelong friendship of we've both hurt each other, we both love each other, where there's this huge foundation, there's a lot of history, there's so many layers there, but I know we both love each other immensely and we want each other in our inner circle, so we are going to do what it takes to figure out and communicate those things along the way. And sometimes it's not as pretty because you're setting a boundary, but it's like, I don't even know how to communicate this because I'm figuring it out. And so the other person's feelings are hurt or however it is. But I think there is luckily that foundation between you and I where we do have that knowledge. So let's continue on this journey of having the most healthy, evolving relationship we can. And some relationships might not weather that. They might get kicked to the outer circle where it just
because that's what they say. Okay, you change your behavior or you show up as much as you can, and the people who love you, that will be enough for them. And then the people who it's not enough for, maybe it's not a good match type thing. So when you set boundaries, you have to be okay with some people not loving those boundaries and some people not being okay with those boundaries and walking away.
And that's devastating. And there's a sense of grief there, which makes sense. And sitting with that grief and understanding that, again, that makes sense why I would be feeling this. That really hurts.
Yeah.
Because I set a boundary for my own health and you're nowhere to be found. Shows where our friendship really was, and that hurts me a lot. And so I think there will be some grieving processes through all of that, but eventually hopefully people find themselves on the other side where your inner circle, those closest people in your life, are truly watering that relationship plant and it's flourishing and it's equal effort, and not how you think equal effort is, but how they think it is too.
Yeah, because I think that's one thing that we've had to come to the agreement of, even when we let each other down, we know that each other is trying their best and that we're both dealing with a lot. And I think being able to give each other grace, that's something that probably both sides aren't used to. Like, I'm so used to you showing up so hard, and then I'm so used to me needing all this validation and giving it to you, and you, those dynamics you get so comfortable with, and then shifting those dynamics is just having that overarching trust and confidence in each other that I know she's doing her best and I know that she loves me.
Yeah, and I know I want this relationship in my life, and so I'm willing to put in the effort. And obviously that's a unique dynamic between us, like a best friend. But I think people pleasing in general, it seems like you can sustain it, but you will always be painted into a corner, whether that's your physical health, your mental health, being overworked. It'll some way start bleeding out.
Yeah.
And so it's like, should I be proactive about this and really get inquisitive of what's going on, what I need, what boundaries I need? Or do I get painted into that corner? Because it will inevitably come.
I think that's the best advice, because I think it hits a point where a relationship feels, like you said, you can't carry that on forever. The weight of the pressure and people pleasing, even my mom as a mom was such a people pleaser. And it's like you're holding this heavy weight for so long that I think once you start to recognize this relationship feels heavy to me, once it starts to feel heavy, communicate, let's hold this up together. I feel like I'm drowning. I want a relationship to stay good. Having the wherewithal to communicate that versus just like, this is too heavy, I dropped it and I have to take a step back. And then the other person on the receiving end is like, what the heck? Why'd you freaking drop it?
Yeah. And I'm sure every single person, either you are a people pleaser or you know people pleasers in your life. What I've been trying to do with some people that I love in my life that I know are people pleasers, I'm trying to hold a mirror up for them, because I'm like, this isn't sustainable. Are you really happy? I'm trying to be that.
Yeah. And almost doing the same thing on the other end, being curious about it, discovering what they need trying to help them get what they need so that they don't get to that burnt out phase, which is so good.
And I would urge people to reach out to a people pleaser in their life and like, yeah, like, what do you need? And help. Again, it's not necessarily to scratch their itch, because people pleasers, again, love the validation, the attention, whatever it is, that feeling of like, I'm included, I'm enough. It's like not scratching that itch, but like getting beyond that with them and being like, how are you feeling? Is this sustainable for you?
Especially if it's someone you love and care in your life. Like, wow, you're doing so much for a lot of people. Like,
is that, how do you feel?
Do you feel supported? Do you feel loved? Do you feel like you're receiving this from your kids?
And not even saying I will be that person to give you that support necessarily, but helping them discover like, no, I'm not.
And then evaluate their relationships in their life.
Yeah. Because I think what ultimately a people pleaser would want is for me to be like, how can I do something? And then it's like, oh, you know what? Actually, I would love this. But that's forcing them to not confront.
Yeah. No, I think the other one is more healthy. Obviously, if you're a super key character in someone's life, that would be a dream for a people pleaser to be like, oh my gosh, you want to step up more? Great. I love it.
But then that people pleaser thinks eventually people will come and express how they feel, and I don't have to have those hard conversations, and I don't need to express my boundaries because people eventually will. So you don't want to ease that. You need to be more of a reflection of that doesn't seem sustainable. Like, what do you think that you could do? Put it back on them.
And I think that my mentality used to be a little bit more unhealthy, where my people pleasing was coming from a place of lack, a place of insecurity, a place of needing belonging and to feel loved and important, right? I think that's shifted now to where I don't need that anymore. So then I'm like, what do? I kind of dropped everything that I was juggling in the air because I feel loved. I feel like I have proven my worth to all my friends and my family. But now I'm on the other end where the people pleasing in me is the effort that I put into relationships is because I want an amazing friendship. I want an amazing family. I want these relationships. And that's where it's just a different version of it sucks when that desire and that want for this type of relationship, it doesn't have as much to do with me, but with my vision for our friendship. And when that's not aligned, that hurts my feelings and that sucks.
Yeah. And maybe the next step for you is letting go of expectations.
But that's just what's hard.
Expressing.
Because I still think I can go out and find those people who want the same type of friend group or the same type of relationship or the same type that I do.
Yeah.
Or that I can convince my family to change their mind.
Yeah. And of course, you can attract and create the type of dynamics and relationships like your surroundings. But even just, I think of my home life, my family, my little family, it's definitely not how I want it. Like the cleanliness is not how I want it, or the kids not being showered, or the dinner not, whatever it is. There's so much of my vision that isn't aligning to what I think a perfect home life should be. But then I step back and let go of those things, and I think of the energy, the love, the safety that I have created, and that is now my standard.
Yes.
And I've let go of all the other things that I think it should be, and I just let it be. And those are the things that I can control. Is when you walk into my home, it feels safe because I've put in the effort to make it feel safe and comfortable. And yeah, maybe sometimes we're not doing the exact things that I want to be doing, but at least we're together.
That is such a good call out, because I think just what was going through my mind when you were saying that, I'm like, I think my worst nightmare is going to be being a mom to teenagers who don't give an F about me. And I'm just like, I want our family to be so amazing. And I think just learning that skill before your kids get too old or before you become a mom, for me, really managing if Christmas and everyone's scrolling on their phones and I'm just like, where's the magic and where's the love? But being able to just see, no, look around, look at the safety you've created. They feel comfortable. They're happy. They're doing what they want to do. It's not about what you want to do or what you wanted this day to look like. That's a huge lesson that you can learn.
Totally. And I had that thought the other day. Me and Brandon went to Cold Stone and we were on a date, and I look over and it was this mom and dad and 3 teenage boys.
It's like you just saw your future.
Yeah. I literally saw my future, and they're not saying a word to each other. None of them. All 5 of them are just silent. And I was like, that is my worst nightmare. They're not talking. The brothers aren't talking. The parents aren't talking. The parents aren't talking to the kids. They're all in silence. Mm-hmm. And I ended up going up to the mom and I was like, I have 3 boys too. I'm looking at my future. We ended up talking and I was talking to the boys and whatever. And I had this shift where I was like, it's a Friday night and those parents are with their 3 boys eating ice cream. Is that not enough to be together?
Yeah.
They're not like laughing and joking and playing, but they're together and they're sitting by each other and they're eating ice cream. That is enough.
And I'm sure those boys are like, yeah, tonight was chill. Like, that ice cream was good. It's not that deep.
Yes.
Not everything's going to be this Hallmark painted moment.
Yeah. And it's not about those moments. It's about all of those little moments strung together is what your life will eventually be. And I look at my home life right now, it's this feeling of safety and peace and comfort and love, and I have strung all of those moments together and it's made it what my home feels like.
Yeah.
And that is worth gold, not the dishes being done or the laundry or this or my kids looking perfect or me looking perfect or whatever it is. And so I guess that kind of veered off topic a little bit with the people pleaser, but overall, hopefully there's some good takeaways, some good lessons to be learned.
No, I feel like this was really good. And I hope anyone who resonates with this at all feels like they have a couple little tips to take away from it. And
I feel like I learned
conversation
stuff.
starting. I did too. I had some major discoveries. And that's what I love about our friendship. And I hope that people out there have friends like this, or even just listening to this podcast, obviously, but you truly listen to me and then you can ricochet back to me. It's exactly in therapy where it's like, well, maybe I think it might be because of this. And I'm like, oh, that is it, just by hearing my story. And so I hope maybe other people have had discoveries and can relate to this in some way.
Yeah, or listening and being like, you know what, actually that's me. Like I am doing those things and you know what, I do need to look inwards or whatever it is.
Yeah. And communicate with your loved ones if you're in a rebellion before you freaking rage
and also
off the
go
walls.
to therapy.
We all need it.
Go to therapy.
Okay,
We're learning so much.
That was a little bit of everything, but hopefully you got something from it and, you know, a little pop culture update there at the beginning.
Yes. Okay, guys, we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, have a good week. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.